We were about 2 years into our marriage, and both of us working downtown, working full-time jobs. We were living in Burke in a lovely 3-bedroom townhouse. My husband Mike, he was working for the FBI, and I was doing marketing services. It's funny, the contrast there. He's problem-focused, and I'm possibility-focused. He was trying to stop things from happening, and I'm trying to start things from happen. So opposites, I guess, do attract. Anyway, I came home from work late one night, and he had gotten home before I did. And he said, I was in the kitchen starting dinner, and he said from the other room, "Hey, did you notice anything?" And I'm like looking around the kitchen going, did he buy something new? Did he move something? Did he paint something? No. What am I missing? He goes, "I emptied the dishwasher." And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I actually did notice that. He goes, "Well, you didn't say anything." And I said, "Well, you never say anything when I empty it." Well, wow. That was about when I should have stopped and paused and said, "Freddi, you could learn something here." Because this was a clue that he needed something that I wasn't giving him. And it wasn't until 10 or 20 years later that this incident circled back into my mind when I learned about the 5 love languages. Quality time, words of affirmation, gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. Well, he gave me a total clue of what his love languages was. You didn't say anything. Yep, words of affirmation, that's what his love language is. Yeah, well, I was like, really? This guy is a rock star. He is 6'4", in his prime, 240 pounds. He gets all kinds of awards at work. He's been written up in books. I mean, what does he need my humble little words? "Oh, honey, you're so wonderful." It just seemed out of sequence, but even today at the age of 65, he still needs those words of affirmation. We all do. See, this love language thing is just an indicator that we all need something, but we don't necessarily know we need it. See, I didn't know what my love language was. Mine's quality time, but I didn't know that, so I didn't know how to ask for it. And then when it began to disappear into the fray of having 3 boys, working full-time and running a household, I didn't even realize what I was missing until it was almost completely gone. And we sort of drifted a little bit apart, and the connection got flatter and flatter. So I thought, well, we need to do something here. I need to do something here. I don't want this relationship to die. We were going on a road trip down to North Carolina to see my sister. So that's about a 6-hour drive, and I knew I'd have him captive in the car. So I took a little worksheet on the 5 love languages, and I thought I'll share this with him in the car. So I said, "Hey, I'm going to read this to you, and I just want to have a little brief discussion here." Quality time. So I talked about the 5 love languages, and he said, "Yeah, do you know what my love language is?" And I said, "Yeah, yours are words of affirmation and acts of service." And he goes, "Yeah, that's absolutely right." I said, "So what's mine?" He goes, "Oh, yours is quality time." I'm like, "What? Like, you know this?" He goes, "Yeah, I knew that." I said, "So how come I don't get quality time?" He goes, "Because I don't have time." Ouch. That really hurt. Yeah, that was a turning point, and it was a real eye-opener. I didn't know how to ask for it, but what then happens is that if you don't get what you need, you don't give what they need. So we end up doing this. We go separate ways. And therefore, we're living side by side what they call a parallel marriage. This is also known as the crazy cycle, that I don't get what you want, I don't get from you what I want, so I don't give you what I know you want. The crazy cycle. It's terrible. It's a terrible place to be. But in 2014, the reality hit, and our marriage broke. It totally broke. We had set each other aside. We weren't each other's priorities. We weren't each other's objects of affection anymore. And we separated. We were separated for 9 months. It was a brutal time. It was an awakening time. And as we began to have coffees again in the early part of January 15, we'd go and have coffee and we'd sit, and we were both terrified, absolutely terrified. We were on brand new ground. We didn't know what we were doing. We felt like two infants starting all over. And slowly but surely, we began to rebuild. We went to counseling. We did a marriage retreat. And we began to understand each other and talk to each other in ways that are much more meaningful and regardful. And through this couples workshop that we do, we've now started a new ritual. And the ritual starts early in the morning. I get up earlier than I need to in order to make coffee so that we could sit at the kitchen table for a few minutes before he drives downtown and share Bible verses. It's our quality time. It's built into every day. And last night, we were sitting on the porch, drinking a glass of wine, just having quality time. He was just listening to me, asking questions, being curious. And I just want to thank him, although he's not here tonight, I want to thank him for saving this precious marriage of ours. And I'm really happy to be his wife. And I thanked him for doing the dishes.